Hi everybody, Dr. Emily here from the Evidence-Based Fitness Academy. I'm going to do a short little video to teach you about barefoot baby boomers and how to start creating some programming that's focused on fall reduction, improving function, and of course enhancing movement longevity. The way that you want to start designing your programming involves 5 S's. These 5 S's to have the most effective programming for your baby boomers involves stimulation, surface, single leg, short foot, and strategy. If you integrate these 5 S's, you will have a very effective barefoot baby boomer program. First S, stimulation or pre-stimulation. Studies have shown that if you do just 5 minutes of plantar foot release or trigger point release, you will notice an immediate effect in the balance of center of gravity as well as the stability in a single leg stance. So 5 minutes trigger point release. If you want to use some of these different products that are out there, I often recommend simply using a golf ball and releasing the bottom of the foot. Second S is going to be surface. The most effective surfaces for your barefoot training is going to be a flat, hard, stable surface. If you remember that the nerves in the bottom of the foot are very sensitive to specific stimuli. The stimuli includes texture, vibration, light touch, skin stretch, and pressure. We want to avoid any surfaces that are too unstable because you switch from these smaller nerves on the bottom of the foot to the large nerves that are actually outside of the plantar foot. Third S that we want to focus on is going to be single leg. The goal of your movement longevity programming for that baby boomer, especially if you're trying to reduce falls, is what's called foot to core sequencing. The way that we stimulate our deep hip stabilizers and the rest of your pelvic stabilizers is actually driven from the ground up. So by simply training that single leg foot to core sequencing, you will be enhancing their function so that they can do the most functional move that we do every day, which is walking. Fourth S that you want to focus on is, of course, short foot. You know that was going to be in there. Activating with the short foot. There was a great Korean study that came out that showed doing 5 minutes of short foot, they noticed an immediate effect on the ability to maintain single leg stance as well as control center of gravity. So do integrate short foot. For any of your baby boomers that are starting to lose sensation on the bottom of the foot or might be experiencing neuropathy, most of these losses of sensation or neuropathy are actually sensory, which means that you can still do a short foot intrinsic activation, which is a motor response, and still be stimulating that foot to core sequencing. Final S that we want to focus on is called strategy. These are your strategies to getting a little bit more out of that single leg stability and the foot to core sequencing. One of my favorite strategies is simply using the skin on your palms or on your fingers. Studies have shown that if you stimulate the skin on your palms and the tips of your fingers, you actually improve your balance. So if you're doing balance training with a baby boomer and they feel a little bit unstable, you can teach them to place their hand on something. They can place your fingers together. You can simply touch different parts of the body or a different surface, and that will stimulate your increase in proprioception and your balance of center of gravity. Another strategy that I like to use is the strategy of body tension. So by simply adding tension, engage the tension of the upper body, engage the tension of your abdominals, engage the tension of the foot, and you're using those strategies to improve control over the body. Final tip that I like to use for the strategy is, of course, your eyes. Your eyes are very important for balance, so try to focus on one spot in front of you. Try to focus on something that's not moving. Use the eyes, as it's a very important part of balance. Again, in summary, for your barefoot baby boomer programming, 5 S's: stimulation, surface, single leg, short foot, and strategy. I hope you guys are well on your way to improving barefoot baby boomer strength. And remember, always stay barefoot strong.